How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to bitch, I always think of the wrong one. It's Jiangshi and Daoshi. But okay, I had someone. People continue to explain. I still don't think I'm doing it right. I'm gonna keep trying to adjust it. But remember, we're dealing with Chinese now. I've worked hard to do good at Japanese. I have no clue about Chinese. They're kind of similar, but they're also very different, especially because they're about as similar as English and French are. And you see how poorly I do French. Yeah, this is no bueno in that regard. So, I guess because this is a Chinese lore-based game that's in Japanese, the characters have been saying some of these phrases like Daoshi, they say Daoshi like I kind of thought it would be, but in Chinese it's supposed to be closer to Daoshi, I think, something like that. So, I don't know. I'm gonna do the best I can, but just understand that I'm a dumb American who knows this much Japanese and this much Chinese. So, we're gonna do the best we can, but let's just jump into it, shall we? So, last time we were here, Ling Ling and Luan have been sent on a pseudo mission by the organization that Luan worked for and was killed by to go to this place. Now, they technically aren't getting paid for this. It's just the fact that they're sharing some kind of elixir that apparently keeps people from dying. But it's an improper elixir that also it consumes their chi or ki. Like, again, that was another one that was talked about. I was like, how do you say it? And I guess in China it's ki, and in Japan they say chi, or the other way around. I can't remember exactly, but like he pretty much can't say like just do what you want to say. I don't know. I'm probably gonna flip between the two, but it's so like it gives you immortality, but it consumes your ki, and then you become effectively mindless and soulless. You know, like you become just a kind of a puppet. And so, not great thing to be having around. So Ling Ling's determined to kind of get rid of it, take care of it, and all of that. But some other shenanigans went down. For instance, an assassin information broker lady who gave us the intel also double played. She called the guy who's here at the factory and gave him a heads up for a large fee. So she's trying to double dip. She's trying to clear this racket off the streets, which is probably competing with the rackets that she represents, and getting paid to do it. But the downside of that is that they were prepared for a Daoshi. So as Ling Ling tries to go in, they freeze her into the building and they're going to shoot her. No bueno. Oh yeah, also, did I mention that they apparently are making snuff films? Yeah, this really took a turn. So they've got two girls who I think they've forced to take the potion at this point. And then they were going to literally like kill them on camera, but not kill them. Yeah, for snuff films. So yeah, just lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So let's jump in and see how this all plays out. So it's like, master, because she's stuck. The roar of gunshots filled the air. They were loud enough to make Luan consider the worst case scenario. A cloud of smoke rose from the volley, reducing visibility. The men were certain the girl beyond the curtain of carbon dioxide had been reduced to mere chunks of flesh. You know, at the same time though, if she can phase through walls, why can't she just phase the bullets through her? However... Ooh, what was that? What welcomed them when the smoke settled was not a ghastly sight of blood and guts, but a peculiar light. Ling Ling held the seal in her hand. Okay. Attack seal? The magic circle of summon had erected a barrier around her. The heck? The otherworldly spectacle left the men thoroughly flabbergasted. They were briefed on the existence of Daoshi, but this was their first time actually facing one. Although men's surprise quickly turned to fear, seeing the girl immobilized still filled them with confidence. Yeah, it's hard to be too afraid of that. These two conflicting emotions instigated them to deal with the threat as quickly and efficiently as possible. In other words, they decided to reload and open fire again. Yelled Luan from the other side of the wall. Luan seized Ling Ling's legs and began pulling them like they were giant turnips. But the girls didn't budge an inch. I mean, come on, it's like solid concrete or metal. Even if you could make it have some give, you're not going to do that like that. You'd have to, I don't know, maybe break the wall. Uh-oh. The men opened fire. Ling Ling used the seal to block the bullets. How many of those does she have? That's not good. Uh-oh. Much as she had expected, the seal in her hand caught fire at the bottom and began to slowly turn black. Gotcha, so they do have a limit. A drop of cold sweat trickled down Ling Ling's cheek. Luan, you stop that this instant. You cut this out. Move your hand away from there, you jerk. Luan fell into thought in front of Ling Ling's small plum-like rear. He then looked up one of the factory windows. They turned around and considered the trees in the area. Luan took out a weight with a string attached to it. It was a deadly weapon known as a meteor hammer. What's a meteor hammer? Is that a real thing? Meteor hammer coiled around one of the branches of a nearby tree, launching Luan into the air like a spring toy. The chorus of gunshots continued to ring across the factory interior. God, that'd be terrifying. Within this deafening nightmare, the one radiant seal that swallowed lead like fish balls, okay, had almost completely turned black. Luan clutched into the waning seal. And in that moment, Luan crashed through the factory through one of its windows. Yeah! Come on, son. Another one? Ah! Luan flung the airborne glass fragments at his enemies. The shimmering blades dug into the men's arms and fingers, preventing them from using their guns. At the same time, Luan speedily closed the distance between himself and his enemies. Sure, they can't kill you. I mean, you're pretty safe. He struck the men's napes with a combination of his thumb, index, and middle finger. Secret channeling point. Channeling point? Yeah, It was enough to make them fall on the ground like puppets with their strings cut. Say my name. Say my name! Luan aimed at the area right above the carotid artery. Image for illustration purposes. Delivering a quick but accurate blow to the area would almost always render one's target unconscious. Might have messed up, huh? It resulted in a carotid sinus reflex. Luan snatched a gun from one of the men he'd incapacitated, and shot their kneecaps, and discharged several bullets toward the remainder of the enemies. Ah! The men cowered the moment they heard the roar of Luan's gunshots. However, only silence followed. Huh? The men checked their own bodies. No damage. None of them seemed to have been shot. They had faces only a mother could love, but their bodies were undeniably in pristine condition. Luan, having emptied the magazine, threw the gun aside. What is with that picture? You effing missed every single shot! Just how bad are you? Idiot, loser, klutz. Filthy lollipop. Oh, now that's it. As the tension passed, the men began taunting Luan like children. Oh, did he hit the seal? Huh? Ling Ling cleared up the misunderstanding. The men turned around, they found seal stuck to their foreheads. Aww, adorable! The men were completely paralyzed, like they'd just been penalized in a quiz show. And in front of them lay the remains of the seal used to adorn the wall. He shut the seal. The men finally realized the correct answer to the riddle. Oh! Luan quickly rendered the rest of the men unconscious. Luan gave a dry smile. Oh yeah. A certain woman popped up in his mind, flashing an annoyingly broad grin. Yeah. So Luan made sure the mental image had its face decorated in ink marker scribbles. This improved his mood tremendously. Yeah, that's true. It happened when Ling Ling picked up a piece of the torn up seal. The tiles of 3 characters. What happened? Intruder detected. Uh-oh. The two dropped to the ground at the same time. The next moment, a piece of machinery flew over their heads. Mulan stepped back, showing hardly any emotion in response to the mysterious phenomena. What was this? Oh, fetch! Another projectile landed where he'd been standing, scoping out a portion of the concrete and sending little pieces of it into the air. So they're like homing like chunks of like machinery? Luan ruminated over these things in his usual calm manner. Demon bullets. Ling Ling dispelled the projectile that flew her way with a seal. She then lifted her holy sword and used her right hands, index and middle fingers to make a mark of the sword. Demon bolt. In response, the sword instantly darted into one of the factory's corners. Strike. They heard the sound of a collision, then the projectile assault ceased. That sword is awesome. The sword shot into the air and returned to Ling Ling's hand. And its tip of the wooden charm impaled on it. Dang. Oh, they're invisible. Oh, okay. A river of death in the innermost depths of China. Will they be able to identify the mysterious white bullet? According to the book, In Search of the Sacred, anyone who attempted to cross the forbidden waters or build anything in the vicinity was eliminated by the very same demon bullets. Ling Ling's sword, still floating in the air, trembled like it was trying to say something. Gotcha. So these charms do take a measure of energy to continue and to continue them. Right. In that moment, another group of men appeared from the other end of the factory. Luan scratched the back of his head as he observed the newcomers and continued in his characteristically casual tone. Yeah. Ooh. So one thing I'm good at. Oh yeah. This will be interesting. Whoever did this is the biggest idiot. Okay, what is this? In one of the factory's rooms, a group of men converse, puffing purple smoke. Ages first lit full of, like what? I couldn't read that. Whoa, they're still shooting? Wasn't it supposed to end with that ambush? So what now? Do we join in too? Nah, these guys look tough. I'll pass. Are we gonna go get beat down? Yeah, look at that loveliness. The men considered the whole of the situation, their occupational curiosity, their pay, the value of their lives, and they themselves saw it, the potential strength of their enemies, the potential reward they might receive for defeating them, and the possibility of them dying. On top of everything else, the major pain in the butt was leaving the room. Libra. After carefully deliberation, all of them agreed to pass on this one assignment. Master Samuraiism. That was what kind of atmosphere that ruled this room. Oh, she's here. A voice gently condemning the men's laziness reverberated across the room. Ooh. Yeah, that's not gonna be good. Yan used her steel fan to sever the carotid arteries of everyone in the room from behind. The men collapsed to the ground in rapid succession, soundlessly gasping for the air like fish. She be creepy. Yen made an excited smile as she heard the gunshots. Clear proof that Luan was doing battle. Yeah. With that, Yen began turning the room upside down like a jealous wife looking to find proof of her husband's infidelity. Good luck. I have a feeling Ling Ling's gonna hopefully, oh no, not Luan's gonna be suspicious and discover that she has it, and Ling Ling's gonna destroy it. The door to the room suddenly opened. Sorry about that. All this anxiety did a number on my stomach. Huh? The one's purple room had been painted thoroughly crimson. Yeah, she's scary. All the blood drained from the man's face as he stood again, standing in the center of all the gore. He then quickly pointed his gun at her. Don't move! Dude, you shoot. You shoot. I don't care how pretty she looks. You shoot. Now. Yen, however, walked fearlessly toward the man and addressed him in a gentle tone one would use with a child. She's gonna kill you anyway, man. What are you? The man glared again with suspicion in his eyes. A moment later, though, his finger muscles contracted, causing him to pull the trigger. Oh, yep, you're dead. The man blinked in response to the strange, metallic sound that followed, as the bullets had been deflected by Yen's steel fan. What is that made of? She continued slowly walking toward the man. She's gonna kill man tonight. She's gonna... I like how the style is so good. Who then fired off a few more shots to no avail. They too met the same fate as his previous bullets. The man's face tensed up as Yen, a veritable embodiment of death, approached. In the last moment, he pulled out a medicine bottle from his pocket and quickly downed its contents. How about this, huh? I'm invincible now. There's no way I'll lose one. Doesn't mean it still won't hurt. The man realized his hand was missing. He unfolded her fan and used it like a stake to pierce the man's throat, effectively nailing him to the wall. I think I would have rather died. The man struggled with all his strength but couldn't get the fan out. Yen stared at the man with a gaze cold as ice, almost like she was looking at an insect exhibit. She's scary. There's a good fork in the cheap dirt. Rich don't eat it. The poor don't know how to cook it. You can boil it. Blah, blah, blah. Just, there's so much just information in these slides. Well, unstrained his ears.
Ah, なるほどね。そういうことね。どうした、ルア？イエン姉さん、来てるみたいっすよ。何？まさか。
Ling Ling's face contorted in surprise.
すぐに向かうぞ。このままでは済ませぬ。ないですね。
No role to play. Meanwhile, Yen was searching for the elixir's recipe in the material room. A cloud of dust rose from some of the records she touched, making her cough.
さっきの銃声でウーちゃんたちに私の存在バレちゃったと思いますし、困りました。
She said Yen as she began to leave the room. As she did, she whipped her fan to the right without so much as a glance. A man that lay there to ambush her collapsed with a severed throat. The resulting fountain of blood reflected the artificial light filling the room, looking unnaturally bright. Oh, lovely. Yen glanced back at the bleeding man. She hoped the soldiers would wear Luan down a bit before their showdown, but considering the quality of their training, it was probably too much to expect from them. Well, not that it mattered in the end. Including her, there were 3 Class A Sashu in the building. Ling Ling seemed capable of the Daoshi, while her pure, naive ways were ill-suited for trickery in battle. Yen imagined the girl wouldn't be particularly hard to dispose of. She would first ambush her from behind. Once she was dealt with, they could easily overrun Luan in a 3-against-1 battle. Also, won't he just drop dead instantly? Although perhaps waiting for Luan to clear the building of hostiles would have been more advantageous. Not even the organization could discover the identity of the Daoshi that brought this recipe here. As Yen continued down the corridor, still occupying herself with those thoughts, she spotted something flickering on the floor a good distance away from her. Oh, wait a minute though. The building's full of the demon bullet totems, so I bet you the other assassins are not going to be doing so well. In fact, she's lucky she didn't encounter those. Because even in their with their capabilities, I don't know if they could have been able to been prepared for that. There they come. Demon bullet charm. The light turned into a projectile and darted toward Yen. She blocked it with her fan in a split second. But the demon bullet passed through the fan like a specter. Ooh. Crushing Yen's breastbone. Yiska! Sternum crushed. Yeah. Sternum gets crushed, you are going to be having a fun time trying to breathe. Yen fell to her knees, coughing blood. Yeah, like worst case scenario bad. Mirror magic. Intruder detected. As panicked thoughts rushed through Ren's mind, a demon bullet charm launched another projectile. Yen closed her eyes, but the painful impact she braced herself for never came. As she opened her eyes again, Ling Ling's small frame loomed over her. She dispelled the demon bullet, heading for Yen with one of her seals. Spinning in the air, the Holy Soul cleaved the demon bullet charm in half. Ling Ling, her expression displaying an unusual level of anger, approached Yen. No, they're not. In that moment, Ling Ling rushed to Yen and embraced her. She's also probably in a lot of pain now. Both Yen and Luan are left with their mouths agape as Ling Ling expressed an unexpected outburst. She's as pure as Meguri. Ling Ling laid her hand on the broken breastbone, tearing up like it was her own. Yen clutched her steel fan. Wait, Brazil? Ling Ling held up Yen's upper body with her left arm while she treated her with her right. Yen could feel a mysterious warmth oozing into her. It seemed to erase not just the pain, but also something else, the accumulated darkness within Yen's soul. Oh no. The next moment, Yen swung her steel fan at Ling Ling's face. It unfolded right in front of the little girl's nose. Oh, I didn't think that was gonna... And blocked the bullets that the man hiding in the corner of the corridor had fired. Ooh. Are you sure you didn't just kill him? Milan instantly dashed forward, delivering a flying kick to the man's face.
やっべ、イェン姉さん警戒しまくってて、お顔をおろそかにしちった。
Milan admitted in an embarrassed tone. Yeah? This is like animated anime? Yeah.
お人よしは感染するみたいです。
Aww.
本当に厄介な病気ですね。
It feels like it's supposed to be the end of an episode, but we're definitely not done. I think it's just the end of a chapter. Alright, yeah, Ling Ling punishes the factory supervisor, yeah. So I think that we're gonna probably finish that part for today. Like not here, like I'm saying, like we're gonna probably finish the next part. But this really does feel like it's like end of an anime episode. But it's kind of cool seeing like all these design ideas they were going with. Looks like they didn't have much about Yen. Like Yen, they're like, oh, that's what she looks like. Man, this game is crazy. To be continued. Lady Hexer. You gotta find out who's been spilling the beans. Click to move to the next chapter. Crap! I just remembered. You're supposed to hover over words that can give definitions of. I need to be searching for those. Dang it. No more movie thieves. What? The supervisor stared at the security camera, feel like a husband being shown a video of his wife having an affair. His voice carried an obvious hint of consternation. A penguin? The two girls behind him clung to each other, trembling like penguins exposed to the Arctic chill. Okay, I guess that makes sense why they had penguins then. I hope so. The supervisor approached the girls with fury burning in his eyes. You suck, and slapped the older one. This guy, something else, man. With that, the supervisor left the room. What's he got? Having been left on their own, the girls began clinging to each other again. She's got a lot of hope. Like, I don't know if I would be having hope at this point. The smaller girl began convulsing, almost as if she were having a fit. She fixed her widened eyes on the chainsaw. Alright, YouTube, this isn't what it sounds like. It's horror. I don't like that. That looks very dumb. Steel fan Princess Yen. Yen boldly addressed the cornered man, her eyes sparkling like a cat's in front of a mouse. Having a blast. Why is she suddenly so... Oh, crap. Now she's gonna become best girl, isn't she? Ling Ling answered Yen with the next exalted expression. elated expression.
調子いいなイエン姉さん。
Yeah.
こいつらの情報を売ってきたくせにこのクソ女。
Luan and the supervisor were positively creeped out by how quickly Yen started acting like she had been fighting evil at Ling Ling's side for decades. Yeah, it's a little weird. She is kind of adorable though. Oh yeah, like she has a little like stick. Especially when she easily took on the top spot as far as vileness was concerned. Think safety first. Ling Ling faced the supervisor.
そなたからは不純で小さな気しか感じない。異端や我を封じた金符、被弾符を作れるとは到底思えん。
Right.
こたびの件、裏で糸を引いていた同志は何者ぞ。解く答えよ。
それは？
それは？
Ling Ling cocked her head at the supervisor's words.
それは？
Yeah.
誰ぞ彼？
言うわけねえだろバカ。
Yeah, I figured. With that, the supervisor pulled out a gun and opened fire on Ling Ling. Ling Ling quickly blocked the bullets with one of her seals, the same way she always did. However... Uh-oh. She let out a befuddled gasp as she stared at the hole in her seal. And slowly looked down to find a small red stain spreading across her chest. Kind of figures. Ling Ling fell to her knees while strength began to leave her body.
師匠
Luan quickly caught her petite frame before she could hit the ground.
どうだ同志殺しの弾丸の味は。
Fetch, man.
弾頭の鉛に桃の灰と塩を混ぜた結界破りの禁断だぜ。
Lead, ashes of peaches, and salt. The supervisor held the gun aloft for everyone to see. Alright, so in the background, it's saying forbidden bullets extremely rare, worth as much of a missile on account of the Xeon peach, metal element being one of the raw materials for the 5 stones that are required to make the elixir of life. Okay, so like you need a part of the elixir of life in order to make these bullets. One Xeon peach can make roughly 10 forbidden bullets. As of now, there are 3 Xeon peaches in existence, owned by Hegshan, Taishan, and the Daoshi of the organization. The forbidden bullet was invented by Madame Kujia back when there was excellency in the Hegshan school and at the head of the school during the previous Millennium Revolution. The weapon has killed many Daoshi demons, fierce gods. What, the god killer? Set the record for the second highest number of kills in Dugu Loren, Ling Ling's master. Those records have put the 2 female Daoshi among the most feared. Instead of Xeon Peach, the forbidden bullets owned by the factory manager were made of some blood taken from Kikwan, a Daoshi of the apostate Ji Shrine, who had eaten some Xeon Peach before. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
本当はギタンの同志を裏切って殺すように取っておきたかったんだけどよ。まあいい。死ねよ。
The supervisor pointed the Daoshi Slayer at Ling Ling again. However, Yen's fan blocked the second bullet. The supervisor continued to shoot, but Yen, covering the girl from her back, blocked all of the lead projectiles.
胸がまだ乗り切ってない。反撃に転じられない。
Unable to move from her position, all Yen could do is grit her teeth.
師匠
No, this can't be here. Come on, heal yourself, can't you? Oh crap, though the bullet might be unhealable. Ling Ling coughed up blood, a clear sign that the bullet had pierced one of her lungs.
失礼するっす
Luan covered Ling Ling's mouth with his own. What is happening? Luan sucked out the blood from Ling Ling's trachea to protect her from choking on it. Is that really a thing? I mean, maybe, but I've never heard of it. He continued to spit the blood out, then covered her mouth again. But you gotta, like, fix the problem or else you're gonna be doing this forever.
なんすか師匠
Having regained her ability to breathe and speak, Ling Ling said something in a barely audible voice. Luan's face contorted as the words reached his ears.
師匠しかし それは
Lingling gave Luan a hard look. Although she was tearing up from the pain, Lingling's unwavering gaze reflected in her fierce determination.
分かったっす。もし師匠が死んだら自分もお供するっす。
He might have been a cold-hearted man, but the look in his eyes now is one he had only ever shown to Lingling.
しぶてえな。俺も奥の手で使いたくなかったんだ。
Crap, what's this one? The supervisor took something out of his pocket. A demon bullet charm. This one, however, looked somewhat different compared to the others. Yen felt a chill run down her spine. The very sight of this magical item made Yen, an experienced Sashu, envious of her own death with perfect clarity, and envision her death.
あれはやばいです。
Just as Yen had expected, the supervisor's demon bullet charm began to emit an ominous glow.
気弾深い。
Charm plus. Heaven shaking thunder. Oh, that looks bad. It's like a freaking Death Star! Without a beam of light launched forward from the charm like a laser. Oh my gosh! Are you serious? Not only did it pierce Luan, Lingling, and Yen, but even went right through the wall behind them, crushing the trees in its way and hit a mountain in the distance.
すげえ威力。死にかけどもに使うのももったいなかったか？
I think some world nations are going to have a bit of a problem with a death beam that they are going to be able to notice. Especially because I'm sure it hit a satellite on its way out. Surrounded by the dust cloud rising from rubble, the supervisor sounded a loud cackle. However, he couldn't help but let out a gasp. The dust settled, finally revealing the figure of Lingling, holding a holy sword in front of her. What the fetch? Yeah, there she is. Luan and Yen stood behind her. It seemed almost as though the girl's sword had cut the beam in half. I like how it looked like it was glowing too, like it's like superheated. The supervisor understood what happened. His eyes fixed on the empty medicine bottle in Luan's hand. Oh, right. She has a purified key, and she probably can correct it.
我は同志だ。対局に飲み込まれたりはせぬ。
Lingling's words brought a past memory of Yen's mind.
しかし、修行を積んだ同志以外の未熟な者が服用すれば、対局へのタオが閉じるときに、己が身の内を引き込まれてしまうのだ。
Right.
あの言葉、裏を返せば修行を積んだ者なら耐えられるということですか。
Smug look. Looking at Lingling and remember what she's once said. The supervisor pulled out a new gun and opened fire on Lingling. Clang! Lingling's head jerked backward and accompanied by a metallic sound. The supervisor, glowing pale as a ghost, stared at the uninjured Lingling. At this point, he looked no different from the random victim in the horror movie.
これが対局と通じるということか。力が無限に湧き出てきよる。
Fetch, man! Holy crap!
気弾とはいえ、素晴らしきかな。
So it's pretty darn good.
しかし、やはり人の世に広めるべきものにあらず。このギターによる対局の力を持って、全てを消し去ってくれようぞ。
Lingling held her holy sword aloft.
本来は日に一度しか震えぬ被験。
Oh, wow.
乱れ切りにて見せてくれよ。
Oh no. What is this gonna be? The moment Lingling uttered the words, the holy sword turned bright as a star. The light grew in an instant, with each passing second eventually turning to a blinding blaze. The key Yen felt in that moment was on a whole other level, compared to the demon bullet charm from before. She's a freaking Jedi! With a death laser! Okay, like, that looks really cool. And then Ling Ling swung her weapon downward. Oh, fish! Someone's gonna see that! A concentrated ki emanating from the blade cleaved an entire factory in half. The technique was based on releasing all the wielder's ki in a single slash. As such, it could only be used once per battle. But, however, being bound to Taij, the source of limitless energy, Ling Ling could ready her sword for successive attacks. Holy crap. Her all-destroying slashes unleashed in rapid succession threatened to raze the entire factory to the ground. Shrieked the supervisor in a pathetic voice. Oh. Yeah, a little bit. Not really. I commented the one as usual, relaxed tone. Supervisor is conflicted. He didn't see the need to feel compassion here, not one bit. I think that was a fun payoff. Certainly was real exciting. Hold on for its panda logo. Oh, it's a slag! All that remained now of the once massive factory was a whole heap of pathetic rubble. I think she can take care of everything. Oh yeah. Ling Ling kept cheerfully hopping up and down like a frog in a rainy weather. Luan gave Ling Ling an ironic look. Oh man, what was they be thinking of this? Let's go. Ling Ling nodded and the two broke into a dash. There was no one else alive, uttered Yen. Her lips curled into a cruel smile. Oh boy. They're running in the hallway. What's this all the anime? The supervisor crashed into the room and locked the two girls in like a scared rabbit. Door, I'm going to get married after this battle. What on earth? He was covered in a cold sweat from head to toe. His ghastly appearance startled the older girl. The fear in her eyes gave the man a peculiar kind of satisfaction, partially restoring his mental state. However, he soon realized that something was amiss. Wait, what? The younger girl was nowhere to be seen. Oh, she got the chainsaw, didn't she? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she might have gone full-on broken psychopath. Uh-oh. The supervisor pulled the older girl to the... Oh, no! They're the agents! They're the other agents that were sent in with Yen, aren't they? Ooh, what a twist. The supervisor pulled the older girl to himself. A moment later, Ling Ling and Yen jumped into the room with a heroic shout. And Mulan's like, I'm here too, guys. Mulan followed after them, taking an inconspicuous approach of a part-timer late for his job. Pray to your gods if you have any fetch, man. Ling Ling pointed her blade at the man. The supervisor pressed a knife to the girl's throat. Well, he's obviously the coward. He tried to cheat. Understanding the situation in an instant, Ling Ling gritted her teeth. Here comes the chainsaw. Mulan began approaching the man as if he didn't hear his warning.
やれるもんならやってみたら
Yeah, I think I put that two and two together this time.
待てるわ。
Ling Ling clasped Yuan's arm.
それはさすがに非道というもの。
ああ大丈夫っすよ師匠だってあの人質になってる子シャーシューっすから
Yes! I mean, I guess I should have seen it coming, honestly, but I'm glad I caught it like before it revealed it. Both Ling Ling and the supervisor froze up at the same time. She's even like, you had to spoil it? The next moment, the sound of breaking bones filled the room. Ooh, oh, that looks horrible! The supervisor's hand, the one which held the knife, had been twisted in an unnatural way. Goodbye. Ooh, on top of it, a knee also crashed into his chin, sending him to the ground. The girl stepped on the supervisor's face without hesitation. What's going on? Yeah. Ling Ling stared at the unfolding spectacle with her eyes wide open.
ちょっと簡単にバラさないでよ。
Infa? Infa, one of the Sashu Jiao sisters. She made a distasteful expression. The very air about her seemed to have changed. She immediately began complaining like a spoiled child.
こっちを無力な女の子と思って調子に乗っていたやつを絶望のどん底に落とすのが面白いのに。
It's the best part of the job.
おめえの悪趣味に付き合ってる暇はねえよインファそれよりもっと悪趣味な妹のジンファはどこだお前らツーマンセルが基本だろ
Infa and Jinfa. As Luan uttered that, someone entered the room. Oh my gosh, he was covered in blood from head to toe and carried a chainsaw. Oh, she's the scary one. Okay, all the women in this show are scary. Except for Ling Ling, she's adorable, but would be terrifying to face. But, jeez, it was Jinfa, the other Shashu Jiao sister.
お姉ちゃん、私やっぱり。
I just heard weird catches of like the song in the background in the English, and it sounds messed up. What is that? So you couldn't hold back.
殺したい。もっと殺したいよ。
I don't want to be here anymore. She's terrifying. The girl slowly approached the supervisor. Oh no. Infa had dislocated the man's joints, immobilizing him. All of his joints? Fetch! Oh! The situation between the sisters and the supervisor had turned upside down.
いっぱいね。動けなくなった人たちがいたから全部殺してきたの。
So, well, they probably aren't actually dead, actually.
でも足りないよ。まだまだ殺し足りないよ。
Oh my gosh.
相変わらずの殺人狂でだからお前はシャーシューとして半人前なんだよジンファプロなら余計な感情を持たずスマートにやろうぜ
Poor Ling Ling.
だって血が好きなんだもん。お兄ちゃん。
Jinfa held the chainsaw above her head.
やめろやめてくれ
All the paralyzed supervisor could do was shake his head.
ねえ、あなたの血はどんな味なのかな。
What is this game? And with that, Jinfa swung her chainsaw downward. Nah, Ling Ling's not gonna have this. However, it ended up being deflected by Ling Ling's holy sword midway through the swing and instead crashed into the ground next to the supervisor's head.
あなたは誰？殺してもいい人？
Asked Jinfa in a straightforward tone.
殺しても良い人間などいない。
Because they're
そんなのでたらめだよ。殺してもいい人は殺してもいいんだよ。
oh my gosh. I say
彼がそう思っているだけだ。
they're like the
彼の
opposites.
目の届く範囲では殺さないし殺させない。
Guess I'll kill you. Jinfa strengthened her grip on the chainsaw. She was all but ready to eradicate the girl hindering her work.
やめなさい、ジンファ。
But before it could come to that, Yen, who had been responsible for supervising the two, stopped Jinfa.
今日のところはそこに転がっている工場長を見逃しなさい。
イエンお姉様、何甘いこと言ってるの？
Jinfa didn't even attempt to hide her dissatisfaction.
これだけのことやったやつを生かしておくなんて。
これだけのことをしたからですよ。
Yen launched into an explanation in her emotionless tone.
今回結局はギターを作った同志を発見できませんでした。この男を生かして泳がしておけば何か接触があるかもしれません。
Also true.
まあ、そういうことなら仕方ないわね。
Dang. Jinfa slowly let the man go. While the Jiao sisters undeniably had certain issues in terms of personality, they were nonetheless a loyal blade to the organization. Oh, don't think you're getting off the hook here, buddy. You still need to go to the hospital, and that's a minimum. The supervisor looked relieved.
でも私、こいつに顔殴られてるのよ。
Yeah.
仕返しに一発くらい殴り返してもいいわよね。
Depends on where and how hard.
師匠、どうすか？
まあ、それくらいなら。
Ling Ling gave her permission.
助かったぜ。一発殴られると言っても女のパンチだって。
Sir, there's a place she can go. There's a place she could go. Jinfa then lifted a huge filming camera with one hand.
じゃあ、一発いくから。歯を食いしばりなさいよ。
Ooh, that's not good either. A wide smile split her face.
ちょっと待て。さすがにそれは。
Oh, that sound. All the supervisor's teeth flew into the air, broken, while his brutalized face hit the ground with a thud. Jinfa watched the man lose consciousness with a satisfied expression.
まあ、とりあえずはこれで一件落着っすかね、師匠。
As Luan said that, Ling Ling's balance wavered, and then she slowly collapsed onto the ground.
師匠？
Seatbelt. Seatbelt.
Is this some of the editing that had to be done to make it so it could go on Steam? Ling Ling opened her eyes. The sight of an unfamiliar ceiling flooded her vision. The room she was in resembled an expensive hotel suite and came equipped with all sorts of high-quality furniture. As for Ling Ling, she lay in a huge bed at the center of said room.
ここ。
Interesting.
師匠、おはようさんっす。
Came Luan's voice from an arm's length away.
安心してください。この部屋はイエン姉さんが手配した病院の VIP ルームっす。
Aww. Yen's kind of come through in a strangely sweet way.
師匠、3日間も意識を失ってたんすよ。
Dang. Getting changed.
何の反動か。対局に引き込まれなかったが、それでも危険な代物だな。VIP ルームとは何のことぞ？
Ling Ling placed a palm over her lower abdomen.
あの時、開いた対局への道が閉ざされておる。やはりダメだったか。
Right. At that moment, Ling Ling's stomach let out a vicious growl.
ま、とりあえず飯にしますか。何食べたいっすか？
Yeah, yeah.
あれが食べたい。
What was
前
that?
言ってたエビとマヨネーズをあえた炒め物。
Would that just be... I don't know, what is it? Just tempura?
エビマヨっすね。了解っす。
Shrimp with mayo, okay. As Luan nodded, the door was pushed open.
リンちゃん、おはよ
Aww, yeah, she's oddly creepily sweet. Yen walked into the room with a somewhat questionable smile.
おお、イエン殿。
姉さん、なんで今師匠が目覚めたことを？
Cameras, probably.
う。我が組織の情報力を以下略。
Right. Yen showed her the jar of liquor she'd been holding.
最高級のラオチを手に入れたんです。
Why on earth would you want to give that to her? That sounds suspicious.
これで祝杯をあげましょう。
おお、酒か。そういえば下界に降りてきてからまだ飲んでいなかったな。
Uh-huh. Ling Ling and her expression turned yearnful and made an audible gulp. But then the doctor entered the room. He's like, no. It was a young man in his late 20s wearing a white lab coat and a pair of glasses.
さて、患者さんの具合はどうですかな。って、そこの君。
The doctor approached Yen.
何患者に酒を飲まそうとしているのかね。それもこんなに小さい少女に。
Oh, great. Here comes the 500 years old thing.
先生、我は子供ではないぞ。
何を言ってるんだ君は。まったく、この前もタバコを持ち込んだ患者がいたが。
What's the sound? The doctor's ears caught a peculiar sound. It was reminiscent of something being fried. Oh, he's literally cooking in the room! He looked around and found Luan cooking on a makeshift stove.
過去最悪の持ち込みが。
Yeah, fetch, man.
中華は火力が命っす。
Oh my gosh.
火力が命じゃない。まったく君たちは何を考えているんだ。
まあまあ先生、どうぞ駆けつけ3杯くぐっと。
Okay, okay. Yen forced a cup of Hangju into the doctor's mouth. It slid down his throat and warmed his entire body. The doctor fell silent for a moment, simply stared vacantly into the air. And then...
規則がなんだ。飲むぞ。今日は飲むぞ。
If I ever drank, this would probably be me.
わあ、先生話せる。
Yen met the doctor's sudden transformation with a broad smile.
なんかすごいことになってるわね。
You too, here as well, huh?
やっほー、おじいちゃん。
The two Jiao sisters shuffled into the room carrying a basket of apples. Infa caught a glimpse of the doctor's chugging Jiu straight from the jug and breathed a sigh. Meanwhile, Jinfa stared at the doctor with an expression of thorough puzzlement.
おい、師匠、エビマヨできたっすよ。
Ling Ling's gaze lit up in excitement the moment she saw the dish. The warm steam rising from it had a thoroughly appetizing smell. Ooh, I had something shrimp this weekend actually. We took a little trip as a family just because we needed to do something. Nothing big. We didn't break quarantine or go anywhere that was high risk or anything, but we still went to visit some friends and mostly just tried some new food in a new location. One of the things we had, we had like a pad thai, but the noodles were spinach-based noodles. Like they were still noodles, but like they had spinach flavoring, which then with the sauce, like the sauce was super super good, and it had fried shrimp in it as well.
それじゃあ任務達成とリンちゃんの快気を祝って乾杯。
Yeah, kanpai. Yeah. Let's go. Dang, that was fun. That was genuinely ow. What? Late in the night, the festivities are over. I think we have a little bit more, so let's see. The doctor secretly left Ling Ling's room. He continued down the silent corridor all by himself. The only sound in the building was the rhythmic clicking of his shoes against the linoleum floor. The doctor pulled out something from the pocket of his coat. It was a small bottle containing the fake elixir of life.
しかし、あれほどの同士でも反動が激しい。まだまだ改良の余地があるな。あれに使うのであれば、なおさらだ。
Oh dear. The doctor spoke in a voice bereft of emotion, like someone reading through a scientific paper. 3 days ago, Radiger Ling Ling destroyed the factory.
起きたまえ工場長。
Oh no. The doctor addressed the bulky man lying on the floor.
少林先生、どうしてここに？
The supervisor's face contorted in surprise as he recognized the man.
ずっと観察していたからね。
いや、先生、これは。
The supervisor averted his eyes.
何？気にすることはない。
先生。
A hint of relief appeared on the supervisor's face.
すべては予定通りなのだから。
Oh no.
え？
The doctor's words made the supervisor let out a sheepish yelp.
凡人で人体実験を重ねても、このギタンの効果がいまいちわからなくてね。ある程度
Oh.
実力のある同士に飲んでもらいたかった。
Oh no.
かといって通常の手段では飲んでくれるはずもなく、このような方法を取ったのだ。ギタンが簡単に手に入りやすいようにし、同士以外は気弾符で避けて、同士は禁断で程よく瀕死になり、ギタンを飲んでもらえるようにね。良き実験だったよ。
There was no hint of mockery in the doctor's tone. This was truly how he felt.
ご苦労工場長。君は凡人にしては
Oh,
十
no.
分仕事を果たした。
そんなことのために。
Well, this is turning interesting.
そうだが何か。
Shaolin gave the supervisor a puzzled look.
ふざけるな。何が凡人だ。何様のつもりだ。人を舐めるでもいい加減にしろ。
Like you can do anything. With that, the supervisor pulled out a bottle filled with the fake elixir of life and downed its contents. His broken wrist healed back up in an instant. He threw a punch fierce as a cannonball at the nearby concrete wall and shattered it to pieces.
ほう、対極の力で肉体が強化されている。君にも少しは仙骨があったか。
Talent for becoming a Xian. Shaolin merely observed the other man with a look of curiosity.
ぶっ殺す。
The supervisor launched his fist at the doctor. Ooh, which the latter effortlessly caught with one hand. Uh-oh. The supervisor's body got pushed backwards until he got plastered to the wall behind him. It was a display of overwhelming power. The doctor possessed the strength of a hydraulic press. Shaolin twisted his arm, guiding the supervisor's fist into his own face. Absolute strength.
生産死傷剣混合力。
The supervisor's fist slowly sunk into his own face. And then... Oh, came a sound reminiscent of a tomato being squashed.
所詮はこの程度か。無限の力を持つ対極と通じても、凡人ではほとんど力を引き出せないようだな。
Shaolin stood in the moonlight, blood dripping from his hands, with a white coat covered in crimson.
さて、それでは実験観測を続けよう。
Dang.
さて来月のキョンタオは講談師です。そろそろ春も近づき暖かくなりそうな今日この頃、僕も久しぶりに外に出て遊びたいものです。引きこもり生活が長かったのでちょっと不安ですが、さて次回は現ダブルピース撮影、リンリンカジノで大負け、アイドルのお腹がドーナツの3本でお送りします。来月もまた見てください。
How is all that supposed to be in this game? What the fetch?
エネルギーとエレクトロニクスの東芝が提供してほしいなと思ってます。
What is this madness? Oh my gosh. To be continued. Lady Hexer's coming soon. Yeah, I think this is technically where it ends until like they release the next part. I wonder if I'll be able to get it early or not. We'll have to see. Yeah. Okay. Fetch, man. Well, that was crazy. Alright, well, that was fun. Lots to talk about there. What'd you guys think of that episode? Fetch, man. Okay, anyway, I think this is technically, though, the end of the free portion of the game. I think there's still a lot more to explore. but this is where the free will end. So like if you download this is probably where you got to as well. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. But yeah, I'll talk to the creators. There's a good chance I do want to continue this series, and they told me I can. I just need to see, like, I may be able to get an early one. If not, we may have a bit of a just like a gap where I might throw up something like different maybe. We'll see what I do for the next little bit for Fridays, because I don't want to disrupt this too much. It might be a good opportunity for me to do some other side projects I've been thinking about, but we'll see. I'll be thinking about that. But anyway, what do you guys think so far? Man, this series, its tone, it's so jarring how quickly it flips tones. I think it's honestly kind of a good thing, but it's hard to pull that off without making it feel like frantic and just chaotic. Instead, it just seems like it's jerking me around, but it's like in a good way. Kind of like when you're being pulled behind a boat in like an inner tube. Like, it's not a comfortable ride, but that's what makes it fun. So I'm definitely a big fan of this so far. I can't wait to see what happens in the next chapter. But we'll have to see what happens there together, hopefully next week, and if not, in the near future. But thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here to be able to share this journey with me. I can't wait to read your comments, and until the next video watching me, I hope to see me in next. I'll see you there.